Yo. Welcome to the Beat Lab. I'm Sweaty Teddy here with my guy, as always, Leisure Suit.
What up?
Dude, very, very special guest in the studio. Real treat today. Got B-Boy Spidey. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's going down, Ted?
What's going on, dog?
What's up, Leisure?
Man, you guys, you've been hustling.
Well, I got a team by me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do it without the team, you know. I mean, they've been putting everything into this right now and believing in what I'm trying to do, and without them, you know, I couldn't do this.
Yeah, I'm just like real impressed with the work ethic as far as you getting out there. You were at Foods Co the other day, did like a 4 or 5 hour thing there.
That's right.
Took off straight to Vegas,
Yep.
did your thing over there, 4 or 5 hours, came all the way back here, and now you're in the Beat Lab.
Yep.
Man.
I couldn't keep up, dude.
Nah.
That's some fucking grinding shit
Yeah.
right there, dude.
That's-
You are fucking on a mission, brother.
Yeah, man, it is a mission right now. Shoot, sometimes I wish that I was like Naruto or something, you know, like instant clone jitsu and shit, you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you know, I just, you know, I wish I could be here and there and everywhere and spend time with everybody, you know, but I mean, you know, this is what I got to do, you know, if I want to make something and be something, you know, be a star or whatever I'm trying to do, you know, this is what I got to do.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that that's what makes something successful. And what you're doing right now for the Radiotron Battle Grid, the wars, it's like, it's going to be something if you make it something. You know, it just doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put in the work, hard work, and you got to get it done. You know,
Yeah.
There's certain things that'll fail, like just because you're just like, okay, we're going to do this day. All right, but you didn't constantly put in our ear and let us know. But, you know, this one, you're like, bam, bam, you're out there. Like, you're all day on Facebook. I'm just like,
Oh, yeah.
shit. Here it is again. Like, oh, shit. There
I
it is.
mean, I'm
going to have a hard time not going because I've seen it so much. I'm like, I feel like I'm already there. Like, shit, I'm waiting in line right now. You know?
I mean, shit. We might as well get this shit cracking already. I mean,
Yeah.
but we still got till June 25th, and we still promoting. We still going places. You know, we've been to L.A. and back and forth last week, actually, to Vegas. You know, and L.A. You know, back to back. You know, I'm just going here and there. You know, with my team, my partners and stuff like that, and my boy Mike. You know, that's partnered up with me. You know, taking me out and getting me out there. You know, because you know, right now it's been some tough times that I've been going through since the divorce. You know, but you know, it's still a little struggle getting back on my feet. But now things is just rising. You know, and I can't stop now. So I'm just going with it. It's like a helium balloon that's just being inflated, and I'm just floating now.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess we'll start in the beginning. And this goes back years. I guess it goes back to Delano, right? Like,
Yes.
Growing up in Delano and when you first started dancing, like, how did that come? Like, what was the main factor? What made you dance?
Okay, all right. Let me take you back to like 1983. Okay, I was probably like barely like 5.5, maybe 6 years old. Okay, so I just barely moved from Thomas Way in Delano to the Valley View Apartments, and when we got there, you know, it was me, my grandma, my auntie, my little cousin DJ, my uncle Licio, you know, and we you know, we all stayed in one apartment, and it was one day you know, it had to be like a Saturday morning, because it felt like a Saturday morning, like there was no preschool or anything going on. So basically, we going to the laundromat right there in the Valley View Apartments, and as we get in there, I hear this music, you know, and I'm looking and I see these guys dancing, you know, like, you know, they look like cholos, and some of them look like, you know, like thugs, and some of them, you know, just look like just dancers, street dancers. You know, you got a whole variety of guys out there just doing their things. You know, they're popping and locking, and you got the guys break dancing and all that stuff. And they had the cardboard and everything going down. I remember it was Kent, Bart, Mario. You know, rest in peace, Vincent. That's his older brother. You know, Uncle Joseph from BIS. You know, everybody was out there, and I was just a little guy. You know, like real tiny little dude, and I took real interest right when I saw that, because I was always into like Bruce Lee, doing martial arts, trying to jump around and kick around and doing like Spider-Man, because Spider-Man was on TV.
Yeah.
So I was trying to be something like that. And then when I got to see that, I was like, oh, I could be that right there, because I can't shoot no spider webs, yet. Nah. but so basically, that's when I started. It was 1983, and I told my mom inside the laundromat, I was like, Mom, can I go out there? Like, she was like, as long as you stay out there, and don't get in no trouble. I was like, all right, yeah. So I went out there, and I'm sitting there watching, and immediately, soon as somebody left off that dance floor, I remember, I jumped on that cardboard, and I jumped on my head, and I spun, and and everybody was like, oh, and they all took interest into me, because I was just like this little mixed kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever, like something different, and next you know it, they're over here trying to show me and putting me on my head and holding my feet like we would do the other little kids as we started seeing them. And then they basically spinning me around and showing me moves, and that's how I took interest, and that's when I started.
They mentored you, man. Like
Yeah.
they took you and they seen you as this little ball of clay, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's tight, man. That's, that's like, that crosses all cultural boundaries, and whatever hobby or whatever thing you're into is being that when you're excited about something and somebody that's older than you sees that you're excited about it.
Yeah.
And they're excited to help you. They want to, because in order for this shit to like continue on, you got to pass it down to the generations. You know?
Yeah.
So that's what it sounds like. That's tight. You go out there with the older cats, they're out there dancing. Youngster comes in and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna bring him in and we're gonna show him some things.
That is right.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, I love it.
Yeah. We go further into your career, and now that's where, like, I remember a lot of the stuff as far as like BIS, X-Men, that time with Style Elements, Renegades.
Yes.
All them crews were in my high school years,
Yep.
and like that's when I was just like, oh shit, I remember going to Radiotron in 96 and I was like, shit, this is fucking cracking. I was like,
yeah.
damn, it's cracking. And I remember the little checkered floor. I can never get the checkered floor out
That's
of my
legendary
head.
right there.
Yeah, it's like, damn, that checkered floor though. And there was little battles here and there, and then that grand battle with X-Men and Style Elements.
Oh yeah.
I was on it, like I was like, oh shit, like it felt like Ollie Frazier. I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know because I wasn't into it like that much.
Yeah.
But I just remember, the people I was with, Arenal and Arden.
Yeah, I remember them out there.
Yeah, and I just remember them telling me like, oh shit, hey, watch out for these,
Yeah.
oh shit. And they're like, and I thought from seeing you guys practice and stuff like that, and you guys were local to me. You know what I mean? So I was on the X-Men team. I was like, X-Men got this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were like, hey, but Style Elements, you know what I mean? Like there's some fools in here that, you know what I mean, know what they're doing. And I'm like, hell no. I was like, Manuel, Tyrell. I was like, these fools got it.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. Right? So then they, you guys start off with a routine.
Yes.
And there was this routine where you guys lined up and you guys were going opposite directions and shit like that. And then you just busted off with this flare on the backs and shit.
Oh yeah,
Like, I was like,
yeah.
oh, he was doing flares on people, and I was like, oh
Dang,
shit. I was like, there's no way. I was like, see, look, he already started off crazy. And then it gets into the, the battle, the real battle where it's just singles, just going boom, 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 boom. And you just, you guys are just going at it.
Oh, yeah.
And really, at that point, I thought, like, me personally, and everybody has their personal opinion. I was like, X-Men won. There's no way that Style Elements wins this, but Style Elements won.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was pretty disappointed because you guys were from my area, and I was
Yes.
like, I grew up with Tyrell. I was like, damn, I'm mad right now. I'm
Yeah.
really pissed off. But that's one thing I was talking to him about before you got here. How do you judge something like this? Like there's so many different aspects that you got to look at. It's kind of hard to say like, oh shit, how's that guy better than this guy?
Yeah. Well, okay, let me take you back to that date, okay? Because so what had happened was their routine was better than ours, hands down. But on the battlefield, we were all mentally ready and physically prepared and ready to do what we had to do. And I knew that we wasn't physically ready and prepared to do the choreography.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of stress going on as trying to put us all together into doing choreography, because a lot of the guys that were X-Men were not hip hop dancers. They were all just straight up break dancers. So when I was introducing them to learning choreography and stuff like that, it was very stressful for them. So that was the difficult part. So already automatically I knew that we were gonna lose the routine. I already knew we were gonna lose the routine, but I knew that we were gonna kick their ass or do something really bad on that dance floor. But I knew that they were gonna come back and kick our ass as well on that dance floor too. So, you know, at first we thought we were gonna battle Renegades. You know, that was the whole big deal. So me and Manuel, we actually practiced the battle against Renegades. That's our whole practice. We were sitting back studying against Jazzy J and Wicked. My whole thing was I was gonna take Jazzy J on, and Manuel was gonna take on Wicked. But that didn't happen. So me practicing so much hard power to keep up with Jazzy J and to succeed him and not to be crashing, you know, I was prepared. So I think it really prepared me really highly to go ahead to the next battle of battling against a crew that was more well-rounded, which was Style Elements, which was a more well-rounded crew instead of just battling with just power. They were ready with coming at us with footwork. I seen Donnie. Donnie was just coming at us with like all this like leg threads and hand hops and stuff. Like I was like, man, you know, like that was something different that I couldn't do really like as on their level, you know. But Manuel was coming back at him with some of that stuff, and then but with the power moves, like I was ready to just eat them up. So when it came down to hitting those flares and 90s and stuff, that's what it came down to. Then what had happened was, okay, I don't know how they were judging it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how they judged it or whatever. But they said, okay, we're gonna take the best two from each side, and that's basically what they had. It was me and Manuel against Ariston and Donnie, and then eventually it was me. Then eventually it was me versus Super Dave. Mm-hmm. That's what came down to the end. You know, power versus
Super
power.
Dave ain't no joke either.
Oh
man.
yeah, man. That guy. I mean, battling him. I mean, I know they're watching right now. My boys Donnie and the Style Elements crew. You know, those are my boys. And Donnie is actually one of the judges on the Radiotron booth that's coming up. And thank God that he's on this on board with us on this. You know, we've been longtime friends and battled each other plenty of times. But you know, we could say, you know, that could be another one we could bring out here sometime and do another interview with all of us like that. You know,
That'd be tight.
Yeah,
you know?
that'd be something.
That'd be,
you know,
dude. It's crazy. Like I don't come from that world, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've got friends that are dancers and stuff, but hearing about this, it's crazy because it's not what I was into. But hearing you talk about it, it's so relatable to like everything. Like you're talking about, you know, setting up the choreography and I've done drum off competitions, you know, and it's the same thing. You're like, oh shit, you know, like this guy that I went to high school with, Sean Motley,
Oh, yeah.
real technical drummer. So you're like, okay, I know he's going to be in the finals. I've got to prepare for that.
Yep.
So hearing you prepare for Renegades, right?
Yes.
That's like me going into drum off and I'm going, all right, I need to prepare for this guy because he's a tech dude.
Yeah.
So I've got to bring my most technical shit. Mm-hmm. But then you got a guy come up and he's a power guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, you know, I brought the wrong sword to this fight, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and so I completely feel that. So it doesn't matter if you're a drummer or a dancer or a fighter or what you are, man. It's the preparation and hearing the amount of work that goes into something like that.
Oh yeah.
That's what people appreciate, man, is hard work.
Oh yeah.
You know? And that's cool to hear, like that people, it doesn't matter what you're doing, people are preparing, man.
Yes.
To be good, you've got to prepare.
You have to.
You've got to prepare, you know, and you've got to bring your A game.
Oh yeah, you sure
you know,
do.
because your B game ain't gonna be good enough, dude.
Nah,
You know?
especially when we're going up against Style Elements, or if we were gonna go against Renegades.
These
you
are
know?
legit players,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah,
You know, it was hard ball. You know, so it was. I mean, in order for anybody to see the best coming out of me, I have to go against the best.
Yes.
And that's just like with any other fighter, any other basketball player, football player as well. You know, like you have to go against the best in order to bring out your best. I mean, because if you're going against somebody weak, you're not gonna
go against no sucker.
Yeah.
You know, because as anything that you do, you're gonna want to see where you stack up.
Yes.
Where am I on the list? You
Yep.
know, like I'd love to sit in and play drums with like one of these huge bands to see, damn, can you hang?
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
and that's the thing, man. Like when you're out there and you're battling against the best, you can take comfort in that.
Oh yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm here with the best of the best, and I'm doing my thing. Hats off, man.
Yeah.
That's tight.
And there's no crashing. You know what I mean? Like there, there's no time for crashing. You
Yeah.
know, it's all about making that crowd get off their feet. You know, that's one thing that I was about. You know, and some of the other things that I was always about was being different on that dance floor. You know, coming out with a basketball. You know, doing a flare over it and landing on it and doing a flare windmill type of thing. I never gave it a name yet because I just don't know what to really call it.
Yeah.
You know, but and then coming out with the reverse flares, so I remember working on the reverse flares. I don't know if you guys know Mike Garcia from Delano.
Yeah, definitely. That guy's a badass basketball player. I'll just tell you that he's a badass basketball player.
Okay, so let me take you guys real quick to the reverse flare because that's one of the things that everybody...
I was blown away by that shit. Number one, because this cat, he's like, hey man, you got to prepare for Spidey, and he knows I'm not from the breaking scene and shit. So he's like, you need to study up on some film, and he sent me a video of you doing that reverse flare.
Yes,
I was like, there is no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like dude, you are like a fucking Olympic level gymnast, bro.
Well, I was training to be in the gymnastics. They wanted me to actually go further with it, but
I believe it.
my mom didn't help me get through.
Well, dude,
really,
it's like that. You came there. There had to have been a pivotal moment.
Yeah.
You could have went this way. You could have went that way.
Yeah.
You're a dancer.
Yes.
You're the best in the world at what you do, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a talented athlete.
Yeah.
In order to do this shit, if you would have went another direction, I was watching you dance, and I was, I'm big time MMA jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love MMA too.
And then I train jiu-jitsu. Right now I'm out. I'm hurt, but I was watching you dance, and I was like, this guy can hands down be a world champion jiu-jitsu fighter.
Oh yeah, I definitely could fight. I was training before out there in Los Angeles. Who
were you training with out there?
Man, I was training actually with this guy that was actually 6'3", and he was my trainer, and I can't think of his name right now. Sorry about that. I meet so many people.
Yeah.
But I was training out there in Los Angeles, and I was taking a turn going into the MMA part, and I wanted to fight because I grew up fighting a lot in Delano, fighting on the streets and stuff. But I really respect MMA, and I like what Dana White has done to the MMA by turning it into a sport instead of everybody just looking at it as, oh, it's a street fight, oh, it's dirty, it's this and that. Because I used to listen to it. I was watching,
Well,
UFC
yeah, we all
before.
remember the early UFCs. Those were, they were savage events.
Yeah.
In the UFC, when it was really when the Fertitta brothers, Dana White and the Fertittas, they bought it.
Yes.
And they kind of civilized it a little bit, and they made it more sporting and a little more palatable for everybody, right?
Yes.
It's still a brutal sport.
Oh yeah.
But
they got rules and regulations and stuff.
But
now.
that knockout of Canelo last night, or the Canelo knockout on Amir Khan,
Oh,
you
man,
can't tell me that wasn't just as brutal. He about knocked his goddamn head off, dude.
I didn't get to see that fight last night. I was in Vegas.
You were grinding, dude.
but I will watch it tonight. So I will be streaming it tonight. But other than that, let me take you back to that reverse flare.
Sorry, I threw a frisbee, dude. I went fucking way out in another direction.
We gonna be throwing frisbees all day in here, you know. So the reverse flare, which I actually named it, called it Spidey Swing because you know, the dancers named me Spidey. I'll let you guys know that in a little bit later where my name came from. My name was actually first Tiny T. That's what they all gave me in Delano. So what had happened was my moves were all different. You know, like my 1990 went one way, so I had to learn 90 on this hand to do my flare 90 and stuff like that. But I was in Mike Garcia's house practicing with his little brother Mark, and you know we were practicing, and I did my flare and I stopped it in the mid-air in the back because I would do these planges and turtle walks and dead mans and stuff at the age of like what 12, 13 years old.
Wow.
You know, so you know, when I did that, Mike was like, "Oh, try to flare the other way. You know, can you flare the other way, like, you know, like," and I was like, "All right then." So, you know, I was just a little kid doing what Mike told me what to do. You know what I mean? And that's when I did it. I did the flare, stopped it, and then I went the other way. And then they were like, "Whoa, like you're the first one that ever done that." I was like, "The first one?" I was like, they're like, you know, that's your move now. You know, like that's yours, you know. So I ended up training it and practicing it, you know, on the down low here and there. And then next you know it, I'm bringing it out at what, Best of the Best. I brought it out over there against Donnie and them once again. I mean, I had to battle Donnie plenty of times. We battled at Best of the Best several times. Radiotron, you know, I can't even name the other ones. But that's how I made up the reverse flare. And the sad thing about it, you know, nobody really knows that I call it the Spidey Swing. You know, it's actually the Spidey Swing.
Yeah.
You know, and I would love to teach people. And let me get one thing out. I mean, I had people come up to me and say, "Oh man, I could do the reverse flares, but I don't want to do it because you're here and they're gonna call me a biter." One thing I do not do, I do not call anybody a biter. You're not a biter. You could take my move and do it and flip it up and twist it and do it how you want to do it. You know, because you know, I don't believe in biting. You know, especially the way this society is right now. You know, the way.
Well, I think if you look at somebody and somebody's doing
Just
something that you did,
That's paying homage
Yeah,
to you.
yeah,
That's a
homage.
respect thing.
yeah.
You know, I come from the skateboarding world, dude. Like I was a geek, dude, when it came to skateboarding. Skateboarded every damn day until I was like 27, dude.
Yeah.
And you know, the originators, dude, you're one of the originators, man, of this art. And it's going back to like skateboarding for me, like, you know, like guys that made the kick flip.
Yeah.
Or made the 360 flip. That's a staple in every skateboarder's bag. You have to do that now in order to be anybody.
Yep.
You know, now that has been created, every dancer, that's a staple.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
Yeah, I would
know?
I would love to see more people doing the reverse flares.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I mean, I would love for them to call it the Spidey Swing, but I mean, I'm fine with them calling it reverse flares. You know, I have no problem with that. You know, and I would love to see more people doing that, and also the rollerblade combos that I do. I'm the one that came out with the rollerblade combos, and also the flare double back flare back to flare, which I see B-Boy Pockets doing, and a numerous of different other B-boys nowadays doing. You know, it's a hard move that, you know, it's kind of like an air flare, but you're walking it over backwards. And I was one of the first ones to bring that out, you know, and that was way back, you know. So, you know, it's just really cool to see that actually overseas is putting it down really hard, how the way they're putting it down. You know, I just wish that over here in America, that the B-boys were putting it down like how we used to put it down back in the days.
See, and
because, you know,
what I was telling him before you guys got here too. I was like, in these other countries, they are fucking smashing it out. Like Korea, fucking Japan, like those motherfuckers are really Russia. Russia's, man, they're doing it so hard. I don't understand why the United States is not doing it hard like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy because like back in the 80s, late 80s, 90s, motherfuckers were serious about that shit.
Yeah.
You'd find us traveling to go see shit. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even have a damn job, and I was rolling down the highway to go see some shit in LA. You know, like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's crazy, but like now I don't know. It's kind of I don't know what it is now.
You know what I think though? I think it's a lot like there's an ebb and tide, dude. It's like everything. You know, for me, skateboarding had a time where it died, and you see a lot of guys coming out at that time. All the big pros were coming out of Brazil and coming
Yeah.
out of Europe. You know. And you know where it started here in the United States,
Yeah.
and then it comes full circle, and then here you go. Now you got a bunch of American guys that are ripping again. You know, I think it's you know they'll take these little paths, you know, go over here, like all the cool music festivals, Sonosphere and Rock in Rio, and all these things. They're all happening overseas. You know,
Yep.
you don't see a lot of like really big festivals anymore, aside from like Coachella, right?
Well, let me tell you my point of view of the b-boy scene. Why in United States the b-boys are lacking their strong power and passion for it again. Okay, and I hope you guys are listening because you know just take this as not dissing you guys, but take this as like you need to learn something from this because me from my back in the days. When someone asked me to come to the events, I didn't say how much you're gonna pay me. I was there. You know why? Because I needed to get my respect. You know what I mean? It was all about respect. I got guys asking me, "Oh, how much you gonna pay me to come to your event?" Like, dude, paying you to come to my event? Like, come on, man. Like, when I went to Radiotron back in the days, we went there and just won a trophy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's, you know, and got mad respect from everybody around the world and got known through everybody. You know what I mean? And now you guys are asking for nothing but cash. You guys got, I mean, honestly, like you b-boys nowadays have no really respect for the art no more. Because if you can't respect it and get on that dance floor and show your move off without asking a promoter for how much you're gonna pay me, dude, you know, you're just selling yourself out, bro. You know what I mean? Like honestly, just keep it real. Just show up and show your skills off. You know what I mean? And be there and be square. Do your thing. You know what I mean? Because we didn't have YouTube and all the live streaming stuff that what's going on right now. You know, like it was a videotape that got distributed by somebody recording and mailing it off to somebody else, and that person mailing it off to you know, after he copied it and
Yep.
mailed it off somewhere else and copied it and mailed it off somewhere else. And you know what? That's how we got our popularity. It wasn't like, boom, we did something right away in the garage and all of a sudden it's being live streamed and then everybody in the world sees it already, you know, like, and you got instant popularity overnight, you know, like, no, we had to work our asses off to get that popularity.
How do you I mean, obviously, you know, this day and age, you're in this like instant gratification mode, you know, like you can just film some shit, throw it up on YouTube.
Yes.
You know, where back in our day, all of our day, right? Mm-hmm. Here we are, dude. We're sitting in a recording studio in my house.
Yes.
This was not possible 20 years ago.
No.
No.
No, I
You know, you'd have to save up your money. Like when I was in high school, you know, me and my 4 buddies, you know, we were in a band together. We had to save up our money and we had to go to a studio and we had
Yeah.
to pay this guy to record us. And it was a big deal.
Oh yeah.
You know, and we made sure that we practice our asses off, man,
Oh, yeah.
because you're paying by the hour.
Yep.
You know, and at that time, you know, studio time was, say we were paying $25 an hour. That was a lot of money back in
Oh, yeah.
1995.
Yep.
You know, so you want to go in there and you want to be so prepared that you're not wasting any time because time is money.
Oh yeah.
But now, every motherfucker that's got a Mac computer has a fucking recording studio.
Yes.
You know, because everybody's got GarageBand. Mm-hmm. You know, pay a couple
got
hundred
it.
more bucks. You got Logic,
Yep.
and you can make some professional sounding recordings,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So now, because everybody's got access to this shit, anybody can just record some garbage and throw that shit online.
Oh yeah. And
It really waters down and makes, you know, the really good shit hard to find because there's so much content.
You know, it's fucking crazy though, because like I know exactly what he's talking about because, you know, I have a 17-year-old son right now that I'm raising, and I see all the tools that he's given. You know, he's given every tool, and these kids are freaking smart now. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much shit out there to make them even more high tech than we were
yeah.
back then.
5-year-old running around with an iPad, you know, like
Yeah.
it's like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, through all the YouTubes that they see, you know, like you didn't have somebody that you could, well, let me just type up this guy's name and see how he's doing that flare.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then, okay, that's how.
No.
I'm just gonna keep doing that 100 times and I'll get it right. It wasn't like that. It was like, well,
It was-
where did I put my hands first, But
We were creating the move.
the shit
Yes.
that he's saying though is everybody is worried about money
Yes.
instead of worried about
The art. What about the art?
Yeah.
what it is it's your damn name.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
It's your
yeah.
name, bro.
Yep.
Like if I did something back in the day, I wanted people to say, "Oh, that's Laser Suit right there."
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they know as soon as they flock to you because they want to know you.
Yeah.
Not because they want to, give you money and all that shit. It's because they want you. And that's what we used to strive on, dog.
Yeah.
We used to strive on fucking, that fool did that crossover on the basketball court. He's tight.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
like now I know his name. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But now
And then
it's like,
dude, like, oh, that's the dude with the sick crossover.
yeah, pay me now.
Come on, man.
And then I'll go do something and see if my name, but if not, I got paid.
Yeah, it's all gonna come. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you got to open doors for
yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
And the only way you open doors for yourself is you get out there and open the doors.
Yeah, and that's why we created IBFX Extreme. So what the whole thing with IBF Extreme is we started this back in 2012. Me and Mike. Okay, so my dream, it started way back in 1998, 97. I was trying to figure out how to do something like this to make it into a sport, but I just didn't have the quite all the way the knowledge and didn't grow up all the way with it yet. Okay, so 2000 comes around, 2002, and then 2002, I'm already dancing with, J-Lo, Wu-Tang, and everybody, and on the Source Sound Lab, the Drop, and doing CTV, and ABC, NBC, and I could keep going on, and teaching all these stars that dancing and stuff, and I was doing all that, but in 2002 was the last B-Boy Summit that I've been to, and then I pretty much just stopped going to events for a whole decade, all the way till 2012. And what I was doing was, 2005, I went through my divorce, and that was the hardest hit I ever got hit with. If it's been on the streets getting hit by somebody, like it never felt like any, that divorce was just the most.
It's devastating,
yes,
dude. Yeah.
splitting up a family. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So, first of all, I didn't grow up with my father. It was more like a holiday dad type of thing. So I only got to see him on, my birthday, Christmas, but when I did get to see my dad, I was proud to see my dad, but as I got older, it became like, oh, I'm only seeing you on these days. Like you're not raising me. You know what I mean? Like I'm raising myself now. Now I'm doing things on the streets that I shouldn't be doing. And where you at to help guide me? And my mom was doing other things. I don't really need to mention them right here right now. But she was doing things that no kid should have to witness as well. And I had to grow up, raising my little brothers, and doing things on the streets. Not robbing people or anything like that, but selling things that I shouldn't have been selling to
Hustling.
Yeah, to make ends so I could buy me clothes for school and buy my little brothers diapers and milk and stuff, the powdered milk over there at Vaughn's, from down the street off of Ming and Ash, because I remember, I had to do all that, and I had to grow up real fast, and trying to maintain being a b-boy. I had stopped, you know what I mean? But I had to do a lot of things to grow up, and without the things that I had been through, then I probably wouldn't be the person that I am now, so but the thing is, in 2002 I quit, came back in 2012, and I had a list. I had my dreams planned out, okay? And at the top of the list was I wanted to create a TV show type of thing, of looking for the best b-boy type of, like an all-around type of dancer, and create something like that. And my boy Mike and I, we sat down, and he wanted to bring me back as the best b-boy again. But on my level I was like, okay, well, I'm a little old now. I wanna actually create it. I wanna be the Dana White now. You know what I mean? Like I wanna be the Dana White of this new sport. So how about we create something? And Mike was like, well, why don't we make teams? Okay, cool. Let's, so we started sitting back, improvising and going back and forth day and night about like, okay, how can we make this a sport? We're sitting here studying UFC, looking at their history, looking at the NBA. How did the NBA get created? How did the NFL get created? We started looking at all these different things on the history. And we're trying to figure out, okay, so where should this be at? And I, like it was like Las Vegas, Vegas. What other place for the holographic battles to go down, because I had it on my list, to make a video game out of breakdancing and stuff like that, so and then Mike was like, hey man, we could bring holographics with from the game, because I had a game that I wanted to do, like the card games that you play on your phone and you power up your guys and they got like an avatar, like the B-Boys would have an avatar and they fight, and Mike was like, hey, we could do this in real life, and I was like, how? He's all, they got holographic stuff. And then he introduced me into like the Tupac holographic thing and all that other stuff. And I was like, wow. In my mind, it just starts clicking. Like when I see things, it just starts boom, but I'm not the smart guy to sit back and write and all. I mean, my writing is ugly, so I mean, I could put it down on paper, but then I need like people like Mike and my girlfriend and my friend David and Tom Board and all them to help me fix up my words and fix things up and all like that and all that stuff. So I had a team of people come out and actually help me out. Mike helped me write up the script for the Road to Battle Grid. He basically wrote it up and we sat back and plotted how to do this TV show. And then David helped me write up the sponsorship packages and all that stuff, and David Brown, my cousin, from Budweiser, and then Tom Board helped me out with another sponsorship package and how a business plan and everything. They everybody started helping me out, because like I let everybody know, like I'm not school smart, I'm not like that, but I do know what I want.
You have a vision.
Yeah, and I was doing like something like Steve Jobs was doing, when he was building Apple. So I was putting these guys together and saying, hey, we could do this, we could, and we started doing that. And me and Mike, we in 2012 we built this, and this dream got so big and so quick. It was like nobody can handle that. When we brought it to Monster Energy Drink, when we brought it to them, and they were like, Paul now, which is from Henna Water, he was like sitting in his chair, and I'm there, me, Mike, and Volney White, we're there, and before we even got there, they asked me, so what are you gonna ask him for? How much are you gonna ask him? I said, I'm asking for $5 million. It's gonna take $5 million to get this going. And they were like, you're serious? I was like, yeah, I'm asking for $5 million. Be the leading sponsor for this. This is a new vision. This is a new sports entertainment. In order for this to actually get up and jump off like this, we need $5 million from what Mike was calculating, because we sat back, we actually like set up day and night. I'm talking, I'm at his house just like, oh yeah, and this and that and this, oh yeah, and then seven, it's got to be a Vegas theme, so 7 on 7, 9 on, this and that, and we're sitting back just creating, and they're gonna be in 3rd Street Promenade, and the other team's gonna be over there, Team Spidey versus Team Crumbs, and blah blah blah. We're just going off and improvising it, and he's such a good, like, he absorbs it all, and he's helping create it. So I remember, I could tell you right now, I can remember when he showed me that script and said, it's done. And I was sleeping on his couch, okay? I was sleeping on his couch, and I'm getting emotional right now because it's my baby,
Yeah.
And when he showed me that script, I was like, man, that's my dream. Like, I was like, wow. Like, this is something that I've been wanting to create for the longest, because to make it a sport, studying Dana White was like okay, he was a big inspiration for me. Dana White was, and when I saw that script, I was like, he even saw me, breaking down in tears, because it was like having a baby all over again. When I had my first baby. So it was like, wow, my dream is coming true, you know, because I've been looking for somebody to help me write this stuff down and get this stuff going.
Yeah.
And when it happened, it was like, wow, you know, I mean, you guys got to see the script, you know, I'll show you guys later. But we took all this stuff out to Monster Energy Drink. We're calling up all the B-boys, the top ones in the United States. We're sitting back looking through all, you know, YouTube videos and everything at his house and just going through everybody and then we're getting all their emails and email confirmations, and we're putting all this stuff together, and we take it out to Monster Energy Drink. And you know, I asked him for that $5 million, and he sat back in his chair. And I was like, we got everybody on this list ready to go. Ready to go. We got people ready to leave Red Bull for this right now. And he sat back and he was like, well, we're going to need a $5 million breakdown. And I was like, okay. And then he goes, what if we sponsored the team? You know, what if we sponsored the team with $1 million? And I was like, no, we can't do that, because how are we going to sponsor the team with $1 million and we ain't even got anything going yet? Yeah. So there's no sponsoring no team if we ain't got no team yet, you know. See, Monster didn't see the real big dream in it. And what they did was, after we left, you know, a few months went by, and then Mike didn't like the idea of, I have to write up another thing for them, this big old breakdown. And I was like, we need that breakdown. And Mike was like, nah, they should just run with it already. Everything's already ready to go. Like, you know, like, and it was a lot of like here and there clashing between management and writers, and then with Monster, and all this stuff was clashing, and I'm over here like, yo, man, like what's going on? I'm thinking somebody's trying to steal my stuff, you know, like I'm the guy that's not the smartest guy in this, but I have the bright ideas for this, and not only the bright ideas, I got the connections. Like, I'm the one that's on that battlefield. You know what I mean? Like I'm the one that with the heart and soul of this. Yeah. So what had happened was some months went by, and then a year went by almost, and then next you know it, they come out with the Monster team. They stole the monster idea that we brought to them, just making the team part. Mm-hmm. And you know, my boy Donnie's on the team. It's all good, you know what I mean? Like I'm not mad about it right now, because why? Because it's not made how we were trying to do it. So Monster, good luck. Keep running and doing your thing. You know, if maybe you guys change your mind, you know, maybe we could work something out. But you know, maybe when the next big sponsor comes in, then y'all gonna miss out. But I just keep things real. Yeah. That's, you know, everybody on the streets, you know, they know me by keeping things real, and I'm just keeping it straight. So that's what happened on that end. And then me and Mike and everybody parted for like about a little bit over a year. And then I went to Jared, because we already went to Jared and Mark from Freestyle in 2012 and was talking to them about this and that too. And it took me a year to convince Jared and Mark to come aboard on this. Okay, so then they come aboard, and now we're sitting here brainstorming this to create a tournament, because I spoke with Ashley C. Judd, which is a sports entertainment lawyer, and we spoke with MTV, and they were like, you know, you guys need to build a fan base, all this stuff like that, and build something out of this. So it was like, okay, so it's basically something that I wanted to do anyways, because I wanted to make it a sport. Okay, yeah. So, and how we're gonna make it a sport? We have to create leagues. We have to create teams and stuff like that. So that's where we get to Radiotron, the Battle Grid Wars. Okay, so and everything's all like timing. Okay, you know, like some people don't say, like, I mean, some people say things happen for a reason, and I think things happen for a reason. I think we just needed a break. Me and Mike and stuff like that, you know, we needed a break, and so that break gave us some time. So I was still working on the score sheets. I was working on those things and doing how the score sheet's gonna go. And Mike needed some time because he had his things what he had to go and do. You know what I mean? So then Jared and Mark gave me the green light pretty much like 2 months ago. And so I had 3 months to produce this Radiotron now. Okay, so I'm like 3 months. Okay, let's do it. You know, like all right. Like I'm not I'm not trying to hold back, you know, and I'm thinking as I get home, I'm like, 3 months to do this. Like, man, how am I gonna do this? You know, like, first of all, I'm broke. You know, I'm working, but I'm not making enough. I don't got the cash, but I do got the facility. I do got the big production for it. Jared and Mark said, "Hey, we can't help you out with pushing this. You're gonna have to be the one that's going out putting it out. You're gonna have to be the one that's pretty much doing all the legwork and everything right now, because honestly, we don't have time to do that right now until the event's coming up, and then we could go ahead and set everything up and get everything going." And I was just like, okay, well, I didn't know how hard it was gonna be, but like I said, things happen for a reason. Mike ended up calling me like a week after or 2 weeks after I got everything, you know, the confirm of all that. And it was like, okay, I didn't tell him nothing about it. I don't think anybody told him anything about it because I haven't got it out there.
Yeah.
And he called me up and he was like, hey, so what's going on? I was like, nothing much, man. So like, we're sitting on the phone. We're like both like skeptical, like, okay, what's going on your end? All right, what's going on your end? And I'm like, well, I got not Radiotron at the time, it was Battle Grid. You know, I was like, well, I got Battle Grid going and I got the green light to do the event. And he's like, oh yeah. He's also, what's up? You know, let's get this going. You down? Can I help you out with this again? I was like, let's do it. You know, I never wanted you not a part of this. You know, because it's like. You know, Ebony and Ivory, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, I look at it like that, and plus we grew up together, you know, and he's that extra motivation with me on that part. So it was like, it was perfect. It was perfect timing, and I needed the help to get it going. You know, all these things that you're seeing me do on YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff, it's all because Mike is pushing me to go do it, you know, because I don't have the vehicle.
Yeah, that's the thing too is you, like you said, not all of us have the money right off the bat.
Exactly.
But we're all able to work hard.
Yeah.
You know, and there is like, especially for B-boys, you know, stuff like that, there's no better way to get out there than to street hustle.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And to be out there doing the things like I see you doing videos every day. You know, you're talking to people that are out there doing it. You're talking to people that were doing it, you know, and that's the way you get out there.
Yeah.
Is you got to keep pushing your name, push. My name is this, my name is this, my name is this to everybody until they remember like, oh, that's B-Boy Spidey.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're not going to know your name unless you put it out there, you know, and like you said, you're not backed by everybody with the money right now, but the ultimate goal is to get your dream to come true.
Yes,
and
exactly.
In order to do that, you got to come from the bottom, you know, and get to rise to the top. So, yeah, I mean, you're doing damn good, man. Like, everything that you're doing seems like it's going the right direction. You know, I see these kids right now that are out there. Like, there's so many. You know, I just watched the BC One Championship that just happened like not too long ago, where Victor won. And I was just like, I didn't, you know, because I watch them all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm just so freaking like, what are they gonna do now? You know, because these B-boys now are doing some crazy shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're high flyers now. Like, they're just like, it's acrobats like no other. But, you know, watching Victor and Bruce Almighty, I think, you know, fighting, you know, battle out in the final battle.
Yes.
I was like, man, it was hard for me not to give it to Bruce Almighty. You know what I mean? I was like, that dude was putting it down. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like, what kind, you know, as far as the Radiotron, the Battle Grid Wars, who's going to be the judges and how are they going to judge?
Okay, we got, thank God we got Little Caesar on there because originally pretty much we wanted Radiotron.
Yeah.
And thank God we got Little Caesar on board. Thank you. And he asked to be one of the judges on there. He liked pretty much the format that I put together. I worked on this format for like at least like a good like 6 months, you know, and it wasn't easy for me because I'm not computer savvy, and it takes me long to do these things because everything is all new for me to do it, you know. And I was working on this when Mike was gone at the period of that time. So I had to step up and take charge and do what I was wanting to get done myself, you know. So I was working on that score sheet. And working on that score sheet, you know, it became my next baby. You know what I mean? And then that was like, that is it right there. That is what's going to make our sport a sport. And that's what's going to make us stand apart from Red Bull BC1, IBE, R16, Freestyle Session, B-Boy Summit, any other event, you know, that's out there.
See, and that's exactly the thing is when I watched BC1 and I was waiting for the judgment, you know, all it came down to really was B-Boy, let's just say Ronnie's a judge. B-Boy Ronnie, who'd you vote for? And he just holds up a name. You know, like okay, so so you just think that guy won. You know, like you just think he was better that day. And that's what I'm saying. Like when you say you came up with a point system,
yes,
that is a sport.
Yes.
That's when you're keeping score, it becomes a sport. It's no longer, you know, just a battle. It's a sport because you're scoring points now.
Yes, exactly.
You know? It's a game.
Yeah, and it's not just. I mean, R16 they do a point system, but their point system is more like the gymnastics system. Okay, so but
you guys did R16, right?
Yes, we were at R16, and I was at actually 2 of them. Was it 2?
What crew was that?
We went as X-Men. It wasn't the original X-Men.
That's a bunch of new cats?
Yes, actually cats that were a breakdown crew.
Okay.
And we actually just, you know, told them, yo, let's go out as X-Men. And so we did, and to me it wasn't, I wasn't really trying to go out and win. My thing was going out to promote IBFX, what we're doing as a sport, and to meet all the B-boys that I needed to meet and also compete with them to show them like, hey, I am here. I'm back. And I'm here to stay. And I'm working on this new sport, and I want you guys to be in my sport. Yeah. You know, so that's that was my whole point, and that was Mike's whole point. Get out there. You have to get out there. And so we created, you know, IBFX, and when IBFX was born, you know, it was like, you know, it's a new dream, because it's not just a sport, it's going to be a sports entertainment, you know, and we want to take this to Las Vegas and produce the holographic battle wars. But on top of that, you know, we did R16, we did Freestyle Session, and I went to all these events for over a year, you know, and just meeting and shaking everybody's hands. And we were telling them, yo, we're doing this, we're doing this show, we're gonna get this going, and it didn't happen right off the back. Then I started losing a lot of credibility from all the dancers, because it didn't happen when they thought it was gonna happen. Yeah. So losing a lot of credibility, you know, now that we're bringing Radiotron out and back now, you know, a lot of people were questioning it. Oh, for reals, that's Caesar's thing. Yeah, it is Caesar's. I'm not gonna just do it without him.
Yeah.
You know, also that you got people asking him, oh, you know, and it's like boom, and then next you know he's putting it on his Facebook. You know,
I saw that too.
Radiotron is here, 2016,
and
you know?
I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
that it's a Radiotron Battle Grid Wars, and Little Caesar is one of the judge.
Yes,
yeah, I mean, like, because he is like one of the pioneers.
Oh yeah,
of all this shit, you know. But I'm like, damn, he's a judge. I'm like, damn, Little Caesar is gonna be there. You know, I was like, I remember Little Caesar with the long hair. You know what
yes.
I mean? Now he's got the short hair. You know, he's out there, you know, being politically correct and stuff, and he's really doing it. You know, I like the stuff that he does and stuff like that. But I'm like, damn, Caesar cleaned up. He's all, you know, no more helmet, no more long hair. It's all short hair. You know, business attire, the tie and everything.
Yes.
I'm like, that's right. You know, but he's been in the game for a while.
Yes.
And it's cool to see he's one of the judges, because he's the one that started this damn thing, you know?
Yeah.
But who else is going to be judging?
Okay, we got Shaky from Bakersfield. He offered to go ahead and be one of the judges. He's from the Breakdown crew. And we also got we got Donnie Crumbs. He's from the Step Up, franchise and Battle of the Year, and you could keep going on. Me and Donnie, we actually started the trend of all that stuff going into the breakdown of the industry. It was with Christina Aguilera, and then we got Twix that we just got up on board, which is in the dancing franchise too, and I'm glad that he called me. Let me see the list. Okay, so where's the flyer? So I could go ahead and check it out because I got so much on my mind right now. We got Cyber Yoga on there too, and this guy goes way
That
back.
dude's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's got his flexibility is like off the charts.
His strength is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, damn, this guy's strong.
He's got mad balance.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
And just getting him on board, because each judge is judging their own category of what they're judging. That's what makes our sport unique. We got Mikey Ice on there. Actually, Mikey Ice is going to be one of the referees, and we might be getting Vietnam to be the other referee. He just hit me up the other day. We got me on there, B-Boy Spidey. But I do want to replace myself. I want someone else to come out and judge this part, because I got to attend the event,
Yeah.
We also got Mark from Freestyle. Let me take you back to Freestyle real quick. We got Metatron on there. We got Voltron, Voltron is with Sir Papa Lots. He's a dope, well-known popper out here in Kern County and stuff like that. But let me take you to Mark and Jared real quick. Okay, I gotta mention my boys on there that are helping me out with this. They were in the first Radiotron. They won the first. I think it was the first Radiotron, and they took second place in the second Radiotron against Renegades. Those guys right there, they got to be known because they help set off the Radiotrons, and without B-boys like us, Radiotron wouldn't been Radiotron without us top name B-boys up there, so our Radiotron won't be no Radiotron if we don't got the top name B-boys there.
Yeah.
Just taking it back with Jared and Mark. Okay, I'm sorry. I got to take it back to those guys. Okay, so I was battling Jared and Mark and the Fusion. They were called Fusion way back. I mean, me, Jared and Mark, and Manuel, we hated each other. I mean, it was like get out my face, like oh F you and no, oh you can, gotcha, we hated each other, and I think without that competitiveness that we had towards each other, I wouldn't have got that dope. And they wouldn't have got that dope either, because you have to have a Frazier and Ali talking crap to each other in order, because
to push you.
Yes, exactly. And they were like the Ali, like it was like Ali and Ali, because it was like they were talking crap to us and we were talking crap to them, but in reality it was a lot of us doing a lot of the crap talking, because we looked at them as like the guys we thought, I don't know, it's just because they had the gear and they came out every time they came fresh, and I think we looked at that as like, we got these rich guys trying to come in on our turf and trying to take us out, but we didn't get to know them. You know what I mean? It was just because of our youngness, and not just our youngness, not even being growing up yet. And so that's why we had that confrontation, I believe, and we never sit down and really took the time to get to know each other before we actually became friends, because they're actually really cool guys, and they come to find out that I'm actually a cool guy, But before that, I mean, the marquee was the shiznit, so the marquee was the spot. That's where we actually got all our battles on. Everybody came down from up north. You had people coming down from south, from Porterville, everywhere. Everybody was coming from Santa Maria. You had people coming from Riverside and all that stuff to come out to to the Marquee. Why? Because it was the setup was just like that New York, that Los Angeles setup, and it was like it's all you guys go ahead, and there was no like, oh, get off the dance floor, oh, we can't have no breaking going on like how they do now at the clubs. They kick us off the dance floor. They don't respect us, you know, and the crowd likes it, you know.
Yeah.
But you always got that one little couple that steps on the dance floor and try to get you guys off, you know, like, okay, you know, all right, let us have our time on the dance floor, and then we'll give it back to you guys. You know what I mean? Because we're just out here just putting on a show for you guys. And then, you know, but you always got that little couple that wants to come in and try to butt their butts in and move you out the dance floor. And it's like, man, y'all just doing this on the dance floor. You know, like we're entertaining everybody. You know, we'll give you that back the dance floor in a minute. You know, let us do our thing. But that's pretty much why they ended up kicking us off the dance floor, but not at the Marquee. The Marquee was the home for battling.
Yeah.
You know, I won freaking contests over there. You know, I won it several times. You know, I was a big freaker. You know, and I'm out there, come on, baby, get them days. You know, and doing that and dropping it real low. And I was a little dude. You know what I mean? And I'm out there with guys, girlfriends that they're like, hey, cool, go ahead, man. Like, go ahead, do it. You know, I was like, all right, cool. So, oh yeah, my girl wants to get up there and dance with you and win this contest. Okay, let's get up there. We're going up there winning $300 and stuff like that for the night. And back then, $300 was nice. You know, $150 each. You know, like,
yeah, that's cool, man.
We're going out and doing our thing, and they go out as a couple and do their thing. You know, and the guy is happy. You know, like sometimes you had guys that were cool with their girls dancing with, you know, and you know, nowadays they're not. But so the Marquee was the spot. That's where we would meet up and meet up with freestyle, which was fusion back then, and we'd be like looking at each other like mean mugging, like I'ma kill you, and they're like, no, I'ma kill you, and you know, and we're just looking at each other like, we hate each other, and we're going at it, and we're battling on the dance floor, me and Mark and Tommy, Clint, and Jackie, and you got on freestyle side, which was fusion, you got Manny, Jared, Mark, man, Sean, and I can't think of everybody's name right now for some reason, but you got their whole crew and they got their thing and they're doing their thing, and we're going at it, and we would go, you know, the battles were just cool because it wasn't about stepping up like how much you gonna put up against me, you know. I don't want to say nobody's name, but there's some guys out there that when I did say, yo, let's do a little peace battle, showcase battle, and he was like, you know, how much you gonna pay me? Well, you gotta pay me 15 up front. I'm like, 15 up front? Like, dude, like, you're crazy. Like 15 up front just to have a thing. Like, dude, like, never mind, bro. Like, you know, you're on some different tip. You're not even trying to be a B-boy no more. You think you're too mainstream. You forgot where you came from. You know, like, I'm not Red Bull BC1 calling you saying, yo, we're going to fly you out and do this and this and that, you know. Hey, I'm the guy that's starting from scratch. And then once this stuff picks up as a real sport, you know what I mean? Then we're going to have Nike and all, you know, Puma and all these different ones endorsing.
Well, you're like taking it back to the cardboard, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Homegrown.
You can see the, like, I can kind of see the vision when, you know, especially you talk about the UFC, which I think the UFC screwed up by bringing in just Reebok as that main sponsor. You know, I really think they screwed it up by not letting all these sponsors be a part of it. But it could be like that for Breakers too, where they're sponsored by Adidas, Puma, you know, Under Armour, whoever the fuck wants to jump in there and do it. And they're all decked out, you know, like it's that, and it could be, that shit could be cool as fuck.
That'd be cool.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
the vision of where it could go is like, damn, but it's one of those things, man, that you got to sit there and see who's going to take a chance on you.
Yes.
You know, like you talked about Monster, they passed it up, they went a different way. Okay, you know, but maybe they can rethink it. Maybe they can say, okay, well, let's hear it again. Tell me again.
Yes.
And then you can explain to it again, and maybe they pick you up, you know, but maybe they don't, and then maybe Nike comes around and Nike picks it up.
Yeah.
You know, whoever, it's going to be whoever picks it up first.
Yes.
To reap the benefits of
Exactly.
the first.
You know what I think is a good model for something like this and somebody that really changed the game. I don't know if you follow Rob. Do you know who Rob Dyrdek is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you seen the Street League skateboarding contest?
Actually, I haven't seen that, but I heard about it.
Okay, so like I said, dude, being a skateboarder, coming from that whole thing, the biggest skateboarding contest every year was always the X Games.
Yes.
And it was fatally flawed because what they called, the street contest.
Yes.
There was no street to it at all. It was a skate park. It was bowls and hips and rails and stuff, but they were like little flat bars like you see it at Beach Park or something, right? And they were calling that you win that, you're the best street skater. No, motherfucker. That is the furthest thing from the streets.
They actually should have went to the streets.
Rob Dyrdek comes in and he develops a completely new scoring system, and he develops, a contest where they have a tech section,
Okay.
they have a flow section, and they have a big section. They call the big section, which is the big banger, the big set of stairs,
Yes.
a big gap, a big ass hubba ledge.
Wow.
That is street skating.
Yes.
We're talking about going to Frisco and hitting the ledges. He recreates those iconic street spots
Yes.
in the arena. And he has Joe C from California Skate Parks come in, and they build from scratch a brand new skate, a new course,
Okay.
every single event.
Wow.
Completely new design.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Never, they don't do the same thing twice. And then they take those street features, they break that shit down at the end of the contest, and then they put it out and they build a skate park for the community.
That's awesome.
that's
Rob Dyrdek's a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
That guy is a visionary.
Yes.
And just like you, where you want to see, your art grow, the B-boy scene, Rob Dyrdek's that passionate about skateboarding.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's inspiring, man. He took something that he knew was flawed and he did something about it. And I think that's what you're doing, with the breakdancing and the b-boy shit. Man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I sure
that's
am.
But check out Street League skateboarding, dude. They're on some next level shit.
I'm definitely gonna have to check it out, man, because I like to look at different stuff like that.
And just see how they're operating it. I went to Vegas and I went to the Street League finals, and I was blown away, man. I mean, it was a super cool production. It was fun, and it makes for good TV too.
Yes.
It's really compelling because a skateboard contest back in the day, you could have a guy just fucking run away with it in one run.
yeah.
He takes one run and he hits that fucking banger 9.9. Done. Nobody else might as well fucking skate. It's a fucking wrap.
That's like somebody like Seiko or Punisher and Demon coming out and hitting like 20-something 1990s. I'd be like, you know what? I'm done because you can't beat that. In the b-boying world, 1990s and hitting 2000s and stuff like that, I could vouch that is the hardest move to ever do, because back in our days, I mean, I never even envisioned that you could do 1990s.
Yeah.
Like,
I used to think that the
20
Flare
plus.
90 combo was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh shit. Like
exactly like that. And so when I see somebody do a 1990, not just 20 times, but going 25 times and going over 25 times, I'm like, when Mike showed me that, when we were looking on YouTube in 2012, and because you got to remember, I took 10 years off.
So you had to catch up.
Yeah, exactly. I had a lot of catching up to do, and Mike was helping me speed up. So you gotta look at that. So when I was seeing somebody do that for the first time, it was like somebody seeing me do the reverse flares.
Yeah.
Okay, is that video enhanced or something? I'm sitting back, rewind that one more. I'm over here rewinding to see if the people in the back are
glitching and moving and shit.
Exactly, and I'm like, no, he's actually really going and going and going. I'm like, man, that's something that I mean, we dreamed of doing over 10, you know,
Yeah.
10, 11, you know, that was awesome, you know, but we were hitting like 6, 7 and that was like, oh, you know,
Yeah, it's
like
huge.
great. So, but to see someone go 29, you know, like doing 1990s like that, and honestly, I give hands down to that. Anybody that comes to the battle grid and does that, you're automatically the motherfucking winner. Straight up. Like you're the fucking B-boy of the night. Like, hands down, coming from B-boy Spidey, you are the motherfucking the shit of the night. You know, like, so if anybody that can do that and come to Radiotron Battle Grid Wars and do over 20 1990s, you're the shit for the night, and you will get the fucking B-boy of the night.
Royal fucking treatment, dude.
Exactly. That's it. You know, like, you're the fucking man. That's, I mean, you know, that's the hardest fucking move out there.
See, and that okay, so Red Bull, they have their thing with the BC, you know what I mean? And I think it's great. I watch it all the time. You
Yes.
know, I'm just like, I'm so freaking in awe when I see these fucking kids
Yeah.
doing this shit, because I'm like, damn, that is fucking way different from the 90s.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? From 1996
It
to
is.
like right now is fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Different. And like I think this is a total different thing. The battle grids is a totally different thing to where it could, you know, just like Red Bull grabbed a hold of something and they went with it.
Yes.
Somebody else has the chance to grab a hold of something and go with it here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's fucking cool because like me, I have my favorites from the BC. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like Lilu is one of my
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
favorite fucking motherfuckers, man. I watch his shit and I'm like, fuck this fool. He's fucking like, he does these crazy ass poses and he
Oh,
just
yeah.
smiles and shit. And I'm like, motherfucker, you.
He is.
You motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, bitch, watch. I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker. And he just keeps shocking me.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the time.
Yes.
But Super Crew's got some motherfuckers too, man.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I didn't know how many people were in Super Crew that were in BC. Yeah, I mean, like, those motherfuckers
yeah.
go, man. Ronnie ain't no fucking joke.
Oh yeah, I was just out there with Ronnie
I
last
saw
night.
you. I was like, oh
Yes.
shit, he's right there with Ronnie. I was like, fuck.
And Ronnie, I hope you're seeing this because you are a special invite. You know, you and Super Crew are a special invite to
Super Crew should come, man.
Yes.
That would be fucking awesome.
You know, they're thinking about coming, and so we're hoping that they do come and show up, and they'll have a big chance of winning. I know they will. You know, the way our scoring system is, you know, because it's not.
See, and that's what I like is
Yeah.
that damn scoring system, man. I think it's gonna open up so. I think crews should want to do it more because it's the first time to test out the scoring system.
Yes.
Let's see how this shit works, and let's see if we can actually, like, you know, you got groups like Super Crew.
Yes.
Style Elements still does
Oh, yes.
shit. You know what I mean? Like these guys could be the first winners. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who's gonna be the first winner of the sport? You know, if it takes off and it goes, you know, to the moon and back, I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
you know. But I if I was badass, I'd want to be a part of it because I'd be like, okay, I'm the baddest motherfucker here. So if there's one person that's gonna win this motherfucker, it's gonna be me.
I'm gonna tell
know?
you guys right now, you guys are a part of it now. Because I already got an idea where I want you guys to be the ones that are pretty much interviewing the B-boys and stuff like that. I'm gonna see about setting you guys up the office at Freestyle and interviewing a lot of the top name B-boys.
That'd be
for the
tight,
event.
man.
That'd
I'd
be
be
awesome.
down, dude. Whatever you need from us, man.
You know.
We're game. I'm in.
I want
Dude,
I want to bring B-boys, top name B-boys out to you guys for
And
this.
this is something too that is cool. And then, you know, I talked to Ted, you know, a while back before we even started the Beat Lab. And, you know, we do a lot of rock music here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But the first guest of this show was a rap artist. You know what I mean?
Okay.
A hip hop artist, local, you know. And I just like, we just love music. Like this guy, he loves Wu-Tang and he's like, dude, this dude dance with
Yeah,
Wu-Tang.
when you said
know?
you did, I'm like, oh,
He's a
shit.
fucking Wu-Tang motherfucker.
I'm a
you know what I
Wu-Tang
mean?
motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Like Wu-Tang is my shit.
Oh, they're hella
you know,
cool.
coming from, like I said, skateboarding, snowboarding culture, dude. The Wu-Tang was like rooted in that shit. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, you know, when I was younger, man, and snowboarding, I always had my earphones in, dude, and I was bumping that Wu-Tang.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was my shit. That set me off, man. Like that was like the gasoline, dude,
Yep.
in my engine, you know. Yeah, big props to the Wu-Tang. They're
See, and that's
That's my shit.
That's the thing too, is now we have you come in, and this is the first beginning of Radiotron
Yes.
Battle Grid Wars. This is the beginning,
Uh-huh.
you know, and of what could be something. I'm not gonna throw it out there and be like, oh shit, this is the shit. It's done, you know, because it's a long road.
Yes,
it's a
it
long
is.
road. But if we could jump in there with you and help you out and be like the voice, if people want to come in here and talk and be like, you know what, we got a show, boom, 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 you know, especially, you know, all these guys, like, you know, you got Super Crew,
Yes.
Style Element. Crumbs, isn't he a part of Style Elements?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, he sure is.
know.
He's pretty much one of their leaders.
Yeah.
Him and Remind. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And it's crazy because that's how much like this, you know, it's been a part of me. Like I put it apart, you know, so I can do other things and stuff. And then, you know, I have, of course, you know, I'm not a B-boy, so I'm doing work and stuff like that.
Yes.
But it's crazy, man, because I went to San Diego Job Corps in '96, late
Yes.
'96. This was like after Radiotron, after I went to the Radiotron in '96. But I go over there and I end up, you know, it was a real fucked up place to be sometimes if you made it fucked up.
yeah.
You know, there was a lot of gang members there just trying to get out of their own hoods and shit like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But then they make little gangs in there, you know? So me coming from where I came from, the people that I flocked to were these dancers,
Yes.
you know? And they had a rec room where they danced. So I just was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I went over there and I've always wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I'd be with Chach, you know,
Oh yeah. That's
just-
my boy.
he'd be trying to show me some shit and he'd be like, come on, you could do it, you know, like trying to show me a windmill. And I'm like, I was so big, you know what I mean? When if a big guy could do some shit,
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
you
gonna get
can.
props. Back then he was gonna get props.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't get it there, but when I went over there, I ended up hooking up with this guy, and I was like, hey, what's your name, man? And he's like, Angel. And I was like, where are you from? And he's like, from Newman, California.
Okay.
I was like, I said, where's that? And he goes, that's up north by Modesto. I was like, okay. So I said, you know, I told him where I was from, and he was like, you dance? And I was like, nah. I was like, I want to though. You know, like I really want to do
yeah.
this shit. And he was like, well, come on, man. You know, let's do this. You know.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
right.
he finally showed me how to do a windmill. Like I finally got it. And with talking to him, he's like, yeah, you know, my homies, you know, like I was always breaking back then, you know, this and that over there in home, but I had to come out here because my mom sent me out here. And he was like, I learned from my homie Ivan.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was like, yeah, B-Boy Ivan. And I was like, B-Boy Ivan. I was like, isn't Ivan a part of Style Elements? Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like this is a small ass world, dog.
Yeah.
Like a real small ass world. And I was like, oh man, I was like, yeah, I was like, I have homies right here. And I would, you know, I talk about X-Men and BIS all the time.
Yes.
Because those were the ones in that area that were doing it. And I used to fucking jog Max Mazzo.
That's my boy right there.
Hey, that motherfucker used to get it.
Oh,
On
yeah.
that one hand, he pumped that motherfucker. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
shit. But he used to get it. Max Mazzo used to get it. I'm not gonna even lie. But yeah, you know, I went to my first B-Boy Summit in '98. We went over there. You know, it was cool. I actually got out there and finally did a windmill in front of everybody.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, fuck, like it was crazy. And you know,
Damn, I didn't hear these stories.
yeah, dude, Easy Rock was,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
okay.
throwing the whole thing, and
Yep.
he's up there and he's looking. He's like, oh shit, like I'm like, oh fuck, you know. I went to a show, and this will actually tell you, you know, what these kids should actually embrace more than money.
Yes.
But we went to this place, and it was a radio station. I can't remember the radio station, 94 point something in San Diego, and they were throwing this party thing, and we went over there and we started. You know, they started breaking. You know?
Yes.
And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get out there. So I got out there, started a little bit of up rock, and then went into a windmill, right?
Yeah.
And then I finally turned it into a body glide, right?
Woo.
Well, when I did that, the place went off, and they gave me the banner that they had from the radio station. They gave it to me. They were
Oh.
like, "Big boy, you had it like that." I was like, "All right," like, but I was like, "This is my trophy." You know what I mean? Like,
there
I
you
got
go,
a fucking
see?
trophy. You know,
That's
like
your shit.
That was my shit, bro. Like, I didn't have no fucking BC1 title belt
Yeah.
or no fucking, you know, thousands of dollars. I had this fucking banner from 94 point something.
Yeah.
I was like, this. I won this shit. You
The
know what I mean?
respect
Like,
there, you
yeah,
know?
there was a respect there. Like, and my homies were like, damn, bro, you got it. Like, that was cool. But that's where you go back and you think, you know what, kids, when you're looking for money, it's not about money.
No.
It's about what's more important to you. And to me, it's something like I'd rather have something to show my kids, grandchildren, you know, or my kids to show their kids later when I'm gone. Like, oh, my dad did this. You know what I mean? Like, and this is what he did. You know, this is how he got it. You know,
Yes.
I think that shit.
Yeah,
is leaving a legacy is better than taking money.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me take it back to the making the money. Okay, I'm never worried about the money. Okay, you want to get it back again right now? Oh, okay, all right. So check it out. Okay, so the recording is off on the video. Okay, so let me take you back with the money. Okay, the money part is, it's like that will come. Okay, I had no idea that I was gonna be dancing professionally with Christina Aguilera when it first started, or Jennifer Lopez, Wu-Tang, and everything that came to me. I had no idea that was gonna happen. I just knew that I wanted to be the baddest breakdancer in the world. Okay, pay me or not. I just wanted. My greatest high was when people was like, yeah. Oh, jumping off their feet and then coming up afterwards like, oh, dude, you killed it. Oh, that's my reward.
Yeah.
That was my reward. Okay, I didn't care about the money because I did what I love to do. Okay, and that's what these b-boys in the United States are missing. They're missing about doing it for the love of doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's probably why the world's ahead.
ahead
the
of them.
United States.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They need to stop worrying about getting paid. And those guys know who I'm talking about because they asked me, how much are you going to pay me to come to your event? Okay. And I hope they're listening because, when this actually really does pop off, because it is going to pop off. You know what I mean? When some production company, whatever, actually says, we want to do your TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys that were saying, how much are you going to pay me to be on your thing?
They're left off the boat.
Exactly. You just missed your chance.
Where were you when I needed you?
Exactly. Now
Now
you
you want something from me?
exactly.
Kick rocks.
Yeah.
And for everybody, and I'm talking about not even just these guys in particular, but I'm talking about just everybody. I dare everybody. That's my thing, is saying, okay, as a fan that watches and wants to see something like this, then I dare you guys to come and show me why you're the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, somebody come show me why are you the best. Everybody come and get down and show me why you're the best, because that's the way it used to go.
Yes.
I remember like when I watched that videotape with you and when you're in the yellow and you bust out the reverse.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Well, the number one thing right there is when you did that and you got up and the crowd went wild, the cameras were shaking. You know what I mean? Like, it was shaking. It was just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But that's what everybody was wanting.
Yes.
And that's where you got to see. At that point, when that crowd goes off like that, you're one of the best.
Yes.
That's the reward right
Yeah,
there.
Exactly.
If you can get it going like that, you're one of the best. So, yeah, I have a feeling this battle grids for Radiotron is going to be like it's something. It's got the potential to be something. Mm-hmm. I wanted to invite you on to come out and talk about it, because as we get closer, it's going to get bigger.
Yeah.
I think these little flyers that we have here are going to turn into bigger flyers.
Yes.
I think stuff's going to be added to it, and it's got the the potential to be something great. And
Yes.
it's the first thing. Just like our podcast, this is our first of what we're doing. You're one of the first to come on, so we haven't had a lot of in studio guests.
Yes.
You're one of how many? 3?
Man, 3 or 4. Yeah, we
3?
I mean, we do a lot of Skype interviews
Yeah.
and stuff, but
People are so
it's
far
cool
away.
to have somebody in studio, because it's like
The
it's a
comfort.
different feeling,
Yeah.
where you can vibe and you're actually sitting there and the person's there and you can have a conversation.
Yeah.
It's a lot more natural,
It
Yeah.
sure is.
It's hard, dude, when you're doing it over the phone or
Yeah,
like,
but I
Skype
think
or
if
something.
like as you get closer, if you ever want to do something else, you know, just hit us up.
Yeah.
And we can do it again. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely.
This was cool, man. I like the story. I like the build up to tell us what Radiotron Battle Grid Wars is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I actually want to see it.
Yeah,
live.
yeah.
I'm
I'm excited
I'm gonna
about
check
it,
out.
dude.
And like you said, if you want to do this interview thing and stuff like that, I'm down to do it. Definitely. I know he'll be down.
Yeah,
You know, but
definitely. I'll get
you want to plug in your sponsors, your
Social media.
websites,
Okay.
everything where everybody can find you.
So the sponsors so far that actually came on and sponsoring are and partners, you know, thanks to my partners Jared and Mark, and sponsor and partner Mike, and Roundtable Pizza that's coming aboard and pretty much giving away pizza with you know, with the special guests and the ones that do get the VIP tickets. We don't really got that many sponsors right now because
They're coming.
yes,
they're coming.
It's because, you know, this is Bakersfield right now, so this is like the first time ever this is gonna be here in Bakersfield like this, something this big. You know, a lot of the sponsors are like skeptical, weary about it, like, oh, you know, we don't know this and that about it. Or
You're planning on doing several of these, right? Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to be a build up to like a main
Championships,
event,
yeah.
championship.
yeah,
You pull off this first one and you do it proper,
yes,
people are going to come.
oh yeah,
It's like the fucking Field of Dreams, dude.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
yeah,
Throw it down here. You do it the best with what you got.
mm-hmm.
It'll compound, dude, and it'll
Yeah.
keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and
bigger.
I say, because I've kept you know, watch on you on like what you've been doing and stuff, and I've you know, I saw when you first started the whole website thing, and you were, you know, slowly starting, and now it's reaching little peaks of
Yeah.
where it's gonna go, which that's why I'm saying, like, yeah, you got Roundtable right now, but I'm saying anybody that is looking to sponsor something cool and brand new, this is it right here.
exactly.
The
Get on now.
Radiotron Battle Grid Wars is the thing to jump on, because if it takes off, and I see by the hard work that you're doing, pushing out there by yourself,
Yes,
you know, once you have people backing you, it's gonna go out there big time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This right here is a voice that is gonna go out on the internet. We got people listening in Germany. We got people listening in the Netherlands. You know,
Yes.
like we got people listening all over the world.
You know, every week it could be like 19 different countries.
I don't
you
give
know?
a shit who you are. Somebody out there is listening. If you guys want to sponsor this dude, and what, you know, what the visions are with these guys, I think it would be a good sponsorship. You wouldn't be disappointed. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So if anybody's listening, jump on now, because it's gonna go somewhere.
If you wait, it might be too late.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
Some other sponsor might come in.
Yeah,
and
they
take their
might
place.
take your spot, and then that's
Yeah.
it. That's
You
a
know.
wrap.
You know, like I said, man, this is one of 5 that we're doing. The championship will be at Rabobank Arena,
It's gonna be huge.
and it's gonna be next year. The second event is looking towards coming out in either late August or late October. I would love for October. It depends on my partners, Jared and Mark.
Better weather.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to do a Halloween theme. You know, have people come dressing up and you know, bring your A game and do something a little cool like that. But you know, this is a Radiotron Battle Grid Wars. So there will be other wars going on, like Battletron. You know, that's something that we came up with, and that's something going to be fresh of ours as well. But Radiotron is a part of our umbrella that we're building right now, and eventually, like we'll get like a freestyle session, hopefully, to come up under our umbrella and run with our scoring system, so the b-boys could be ranked under a ranking system, you know, because the b-boys are going to be ranked as basically how well you do your flair on a point scale of 1 to 5, or we might do a point scale of 1 to 10, you know, but it's already there. and you know, from 1990s to head spins. It's not just like on a category. It's more like, oh, okay, how well did, you know, he's got his footwork, top rock, pop locking and robotic and ticking and slow motion. And, you know, you got your popper that's judging, you know, the popping styles. You got your power spin guy that does like windmills, you know, head spins, and he's judging on these type of spins. You got a guy that's judging on 1990s and flares and stuff like that, you know. So each judge is judging you on what they're basically their criteria, what they do best, so that when they see these moves getting done, that's what they're judging you on, you know. So what we want from the competitors to do is come and be you. You know, you're not at Red Bull BC1 where you got a power head going against an all styles guy, you know, and you can't really compare that. But if Red Bull wants to compare that, then fine, oh well. But you can't really compare a power head versus an all styles guy, you know, that's doing styles and footwork and freezes and stuff like that and flips versus somebody that's doing flare 90, flare, air flare, this and this and that.
Yeah.
You can't compare it because it's two different styles. You know, it's both breaking, but two different styles of breaking. You know, and I don't agree with that. You know, because would you put a skateboarder versus a rollerblader?
No.
How can you
You know,
judge that?
even in skateboarding, you've got your tech guys and you've got your power guys.
Yes.
You know, and you have these guys that are going and they hit the big banger.
Yeah.
They hit the big ledge or the big rail and they're hitting like 30 stairs.
Yeah.
But then you've also got like a Rodney Mullen who you never catch him jumping down anything. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he's hitting these ledges and he's doing, you know, 360 flip, no slide, heel flip switch, you know, and
Man, that sounds
it's
crazy.
You know, and it's all this flip in, flip out, you know, and he's flipping out into a manual, and then he's riding the manual, and then like nollie flipping into a nose grind here, and you know, and it's just super, super technical. Mm-hmm. They're both riding a skateboard.
Yes.
It's skateboarding.
Yes.
Two completely different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't put
Compare
that's
'em.
apples and oranges, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's not apples to apples.
Yeah.
So even you know, in dancing, you know, like the power heads, you know, these guys hitting these big flares and windmills and stuff. You know, you got a guy like I watch some of these dudes that are doing like the dubstep dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy, man. How like that's all like pop and lock and stuff.
Yeah.
Completely different things.
When they mix it up, yes.
Yeah, they're both dancers, man. They're both dancing, but they're not even the same.
Yeah, two different styles.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's what they're doing in this breaking industry. You're putting two different styles to battle against each other, and then you got an argument afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, then you got somebody walking away like sad, like, man, how did I lose to that? Or, you know, honestly, they need to think about it. Like, you can't compare that, you know, and it's I think because Red Bull BC1 is not done by a b-boy.
Yeah.
It's done by
an energy drink company.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. Somebody with cash and money that's just doing it, you know, and putting these b-boys to battle each other, and they're splitting up the teams and stuff like that, and they're making it like it's the number one thing now. And honestly, that's gonna be our competitors, or they might also be our unifies that might actually want to come aboard and work with us on this. I never know, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna knock them down.
Yeah.
But I will critique. I mean, you know, branch them out and let them know, like, dude, you know, like on the real b-boying aspect, you know, like you guys need to do it this way. Then, you know, like, you know, power versus power, you know, footwork guys and style guys versus footwork and style guys. You know, do it like that, because when you do it like that, then you're not gonna have a sore loser, really. You know what I mean? Like a power head walking home and saying, "Man, I'm quitting power." You know what I mean? Or
that's
man, you know,
Yeah, don't think you need to do something different.
And that's what I think happened in this last Red Bull one. Is you had a Bruce Almighty who was totally different from Victor.
Yes.
And I was just like, man, that was hard. Like I was more excited about Bruce Almighty, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm glad Victor took it because he's from the United States.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I was kind of like more feeling Bruce Almighty, and I was
Okay.
like, shit, I don't know. Like, but it's once again it's a name going up.
Yep.
And that's it. You know,
Yeah.
so
At the end of it, you don't
Yeah.
even know, like, okay, so how did he win?
yeah, how
you
did he
know,
win?
like,
and I think he was
you know,
kind of asking like, how did that happen? You know, like
Yeah.
he kind of looked like he felt robbed, you know,
Uh-huh.
well, which was cool, you know, but you gotta be prepared to get robbed in that kind of system because it's just, you know, there's 3 guys holding a, you know, and
Not always the best
whose
guy
names-
wins, man.
yeah,
in
whose
these
names
things,
coming
dude.
up.
You
But
see it all the time.
yeah.
but this is gonna be cool. So,
Yeah, something different. You're gonna have 7 on 7, 4 on the battlefield, 3 on the bench, 3 5-minute rounds. If you're getting killed by the time second round's going in the third round, there won't be a third round. It'll be a technical knockout. Like you're done.
Sounds crazy.
So
you know,
it's like
like a fight.
the Ultimate Fighter
Yeah.
TV show, right? They do 2 rounds.
Yep.
If it's a tight 2 rounds,
there'll be a
Dana will
third.
be like, "Yo, you're going to a third."
yes.
You know, you get rewarded with a third round.
Yeah.
You don't get a third round. You get rewarded
Yeah,
with
if
a
it's a
third
good
round.
fight,
If
you
it's a
go-
good
you go
fight,
3,
they
you know?
send you 3.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a shitter, nah, get your ass out the octagon.
Yeah.
You know,
But
so that's
I
cool, man.
think-
I like that. I'm with that.
I think it's cool too that there's a knockout part too because some crews are just far more superior. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like
That's a tight idea, dude. That's cool, man.
It
I'm
is.
with that. That is way cool, man.
And something else that's different about this is we got the crowd hype meter thing that's going to be going on. Basically, when the crowd is in really like rooting for somebody, that person gets an extra 10 points. You know what I mean? And it's just because the crowd's rooting for them.
the
You know,
is
you know.
definite factor.
How are you gonna do that? Are you gonna do that with like a decibel meter?
Yes, we're gonna have somebody out there,
With a
a tech guy.
Yeah.
that's with a decibel meter, and he'll be basically reading the.
Yeah, because that's a measurable.
Yes.
You know, it's not like I think that's loud. This is loud.
Yeah.
Look, it was loud. No, but you know, you say, hey, it was 150 decibels
Yeah.
for dude. You know,
Exactly.
they brought it.
going over the music.
Yeah,
you know?
that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
And then one of our rules is, you know, I mean, from our rules is like basically, okay, so if a b-boy is out on the dance floor, okay, now, okay, what makes this a lot more different is, okay, you got seven guys on a team, okay, 4 on the battlefield each, you know what I mean? So you got a contestants of 8 guys, you know, on that battlefield. You got 5 minutes to kill it. Each contestant's got 40 seconds to kill it on that dance floor. If they're really, really killing it, the referee would go ahead and allow them to go 10 seconds over. After that, he's gonna hit that horn, and you know you got to get off. If you're still trying to go over that, he'll throw in his yellow card. And if you're still going over that, he'll throw in another yellow card. And if you still haven't got off that dance floor, black card, you're off. You're off the team. You're on you're in the boneyard. Now you only got 3 guys on the battlefield, even though you still got 3 guys
Penalty
on that
box, bro.
You know, like hockey, like
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah, well, it's like
You know?
soccer, yellow cards, red cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
So it makes it more competitive, and that's why we're gonna be, you know, eventually they're gonna be having coaches, and then they're gonna start strategizing.
Well, yeah, that's
as we
what's going to
grow.
come into play. Strategy.
When I was talking about the street league skateboarding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling you how guys can just run away with it, and you're like, fuck, man, what's the point?
Yeah.
With street league, it comes down to that big section, that big banger.
Yes.
And I've seen it so many times with their point system and how it's worked out. It's came down to the last trick
Oh yeah.
where it's like, you know, and a lot of times, man, it's the clutch. I don't know if you know who he is, Nigel Houston.
No, no.
Dude, this guy he's the best right now, right? He'll get up there and it'll be for, you know, $100,000.
Okay.
And he's got one trick. And he's standing at the top of these stairs, and you have dude that's, you know, he's posted his score, and it comes down to that last trick. And no time in skateboarding have they ever put pressure on an athlete like that.
Oh man.
You know? So here he is standing at the top. They blow the horn. He's got to go, and he's got to hit the banger.
Yes.
And you know, so he hits this huge trick over these stairs or on the ledge or whatever the you know the big section is for
Yes.
that contest. And you know, you make it or you don't. Mm-hmm. And all the money's on the line.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. You know, like Rob Dyrdek, he pioneered that, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, to where you have that in there, to where there's like, you know, everything's riding on this last round.
Yeah.
You know, that invests you into it, where you're like on the edge of your seat. You're like, are they going to do it?
Yep. And
You know-
that's how it is.
That's cool, man. And,
Third
you're
round.
taking from all these sports, man. You're going the best part of this, the best part of that, and you're bringing it all, and you're making your league.
I like how you noticed that because that's what breakdancing is. Breakdancers take a little bit of every little thing like kung fu, martial arts, miming, using like basketballs, as acting like they're playing football, throwing the ball,
Yeah.
and breakdancing takes a little piece of pretty much everything, like same with the Thomas Flares, all these different things, and that's pretty much what I did was look at it like, okay, we got to take a little bit of piece of every little sport out there to make this our sport,
Yeah.
because like I said, hockey, they get into a fight, whatever, you go and you
got the penalty box.
exactly, which we would call ours the boneyard. You
boneyard.
gotta
I
go
like
into the
it.
boneyard. You're off there, and now you're sitting there. You're like, oh man, now you gotta wait till see if your team wins or not. If your team wins, then you get to come back.
Yeah.
But
Because it's a new game, right?
yeah,
After that round.
Yes. Exactly. So what we're gonna be doing is taking first, second, and third place of every event that we do. See, there's gonna be 5 events, the 5th one being the championships. So you're gonna have a total of 4 first place, 4 second place, and 4 third place going to the championships, Rabobank Arena, and they're gonna know who's gonna be battling on the card for the first rounds of each
Yeah.
one. After that, they don't know who's going to be battling next because why? Because you're going to take the first first place guys, and whoever wins out of those, they're going to move up, and in the next, you know what I mean. You get you
So
don't
they
know-
get seeded. So you'll have your
Shit,
seeds.
yes,
Your best bet is to be prepared to battle anybody.
yes,
You know what I mean?
exactly,
Yep.
That's you, but you might as well practice for everybody and anybody.
yep.
But I'll tell you this though, even if you think that your crew couldn't handle a situation like this, you might want to come out and do it anyways, just for the experience,
Yes.
because you ain't gonna get better unless you battle the best.
Yeah,
That's right.
And there's gonna be some crews up here. I'm guaranteeing there's gonna be some damn crews.
Oh,
Sounds tight, man. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
It's
to
gonna be
watch.
tight.
Yeah.
But dude, I want to get you home so you can
Okay.
get some sleep, man. Because you
Definitely.
Yeah, you've been grinding, dude. I was
Both
like,
of you
when
guys,
when I
man.
saw that you were on your way to Vegas last night, I was like, how in the fuck is he gonna be here? in
Yeah,
the
that's
morning
I
for a
was kind
podcast?
of like, fuck, podcast is over. He's going to Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, but he was like, nah, I'll be there. Like I was like, all right, man. Like, shit. And he was like, just 12 o'clock. I was like, all right, 12 o'clock, cool. But
made it.
fuck,
Yeah.
you made it, dude. Shit.
I mean, it's dedication. Like I have to put this out there.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, I didn't even. Did I ask you guys for money?
no,
Did I say?
No, hell no.
Because it's not about that. It's about this is my new competition is the sporting now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not asking nobody for no money if they're gonna try to put me out there. No,
Yeah.
it's my new competition. You're gonna put me out there. Let's roll with this. Let's
That's
do
right.
it.
Yeah.
Anybody that's loving this, let's roll with it. But I would like to have you guys be the main guys for like interviewing because you guys do really good at what you guys are doing. I think so, and I give you guys hands down on bringing me out here, and I'm really blessed that you guys did this because
Dude, we appreciate you coming out, man. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was cool, man.
I was just like sitting back listening. I mean, most of the time, if you listen to the Beat Lab, I'm running my fucking mouth the whole goddamn time, dude. And here I'm just like, I'm just listening to the stories. I'm like, fuck, man, because I'm not from that world, dude.
Yeah.
So it's like it's compelling, dude,
Yeah.
to listen to, So yeah, it was tight, man. I was stoked for Leisure, dude, because as long as I've known this guy, like I brought him into my world, dude, like bringing him into the music scene, and this was always something he talked about. He was always talking about b-boys and stuff, and I'm just like, man, I'm not from there,
Yeah.
but bringing you in and him being excited, like, dude, it made me excited.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool to have Leisure, incorporate this into the Beat Lab podcast, dude. I was pumped, man.
well, it's a pleasure being here.
Dude, I want to hear before you leave, dude. I want to hear about you working with J-Lo because J-Lo is my shit.
Okay, I mean, what do you want to know? I mean,
Dude, how was it working with her, man? That's that's as big of a fucking superstar as you can work with, dude.
I mean, that was
That's
actually
crazy.
fun. I mean, my agency, which was Clear Talent, which was KSA first, and then they split off to Clear Talent. And they called me up and said, J-Lo wants you to work for them, and this and this and that. And but before you go work with them, they want to audition you first. I was like, okay, cool. So I go to the audition at the Millennium Dance Studio in Los Angeles, and I go in there, and they're like, we want to see you do that thing on the rollerblades. I was like, okay. And I brought the rollerblades. I was like, cool, because they saw me do it. So I did my combination on the rollerblades. Okay, cool. And then they pull me to the back. They're like, we don't really want to use you for the rollerblades, but we want to use you for something up here because we have other plans for you. And I was like, okay. And they were like, we just don't know yet, but we'll be calling you back, and we want you to be a part of this. Okay, we're gonna put you on the specialty act and acting. I was all right, cool. So I leave, then I get my call back again next week, and then they're like, okay, rehearsals are this days for the rest of the week, and the next week after that, and you're gonna be getting paid $400 and something a day. You won't be doing your thing for the full 8 hours, but you will have to be here for 8 hours. And I was like, okay, cool. So I go and I'm there, and they don't know what to do with me. They're Chris Judd and J-Lo sitting there right next to me, like, well, what do you?
Is that when she was married to that cat?
I don't know if they were married at that time. I know they were dating or something. But I can't really remember if it was dating or marriage at that time. I really don't think it was marriage yet. Yeah. I think they were just dating at that time. Yeah. And they were like, I'm sitting next to J-Lo, and she's like, well, I don't really know what to have you do, like, is there anything you could improvise to do what you do? Because I just like your dancing. That's what she was telling me. I really like what you do, and I really want you to do something.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude.
And I was like, well, let me see you guys do the choreography first, and then so I need to know when is a good spot for me. She's okay, so we're gonna run through it a couple of times, and then basically I'll let you know like when's a good time for you to go ahead and do your thing. And I was like, okay, so I'm sitting there watching. And I'm like, okay, so, and then when the pyro goes boom, she says, and then that's when we want you to come in and do something, either with me or something. And I'm like, okay, all right. And I'm watching, I'm like, okay, I got it. When you're doing that, I'll be right behind you, and I'll do something, and I'll hit a freeze right after. And it was so simple and easy. And I was like,
but it was perfect.
Yes, and they loved it. They're like, okay. They're like, can you hold that for that long while I'm dancing afterwards? I was like, easy, piece of cake.
That's fucking ridiculous.
So that's how we did it. And when she did that dance, and she's twisting and turning and doing that, I did my 6-step right behind her. We hit into a freeze. I held the freeze for a long time, and as soon as it went boom again, and I got up and spun up and walked away, and then pretty much after that, after we had to do the show twice because it had to air in the East Coast and the West Coast.
So what was this on?
This was on My Love Don't Cost a Thing. That was the song, and it was on the AMAs, the American Music Awards.
Oh,
so
shit.
We did that at the Shrine, I think it was.
Yeah, the Shrine Auditorium down in LA.
Yes. Yeah. And I took pictures with Janet Jackson. All these people that I was meeting up with, Andre 3000. I was over there talking with LL Cool J. I got to tell him like, yo, man, I remember in first grade I did my song "I'm Bad to You." You know what I mean? Like the song that you did. And I was up there, lip singing and breakdancing and acting like when you crush you like a jelly bean. I was telling him I did the whole acting of all that, and I got second place, whatever, but it was fun, and he was like, oh man, and I told those guys, I'm a rapper too, and I told all them, and they all told me, what would be cool is if you put your breaking and your rapping together, but instead of freestyling, you need to write. And I became a writer after that. Yeah. But Dancing with J-Lo was awesome because, but I was married at the time.
Bummer.
Yes.
We were just watching the Waiting for Tonight video, and I was telling Leisure, we were talking, we're like, who is the hottest broad, like, all time. And I was like, 1999 Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
That broad, I was like, that is the hottest female
Yeah.
to ever grace God's earth. dude.
And she's a very, very, very nice woman. Okay, when this is what happened, I'm gonna tell you a little story. Okay, Chris Judd comes up to me, and he goes, "Hey, after the awards, we want to know, if you could come and stay with us at the mansion. J-Lo's asking, and she wants to know because basically we want to take you on tour." And I was like, "Oh, that would be awesome." I call up my baby mama, which was my wife at the time, and I was like, "Oh, they want me to come and stay with them at the mansion, and they're talking about taking me on tour." And oh man, I wasn't even knowing or thinking that she was gonna get super mad and jealous.
She
And-
assholed you big time. Huh?
Oh yeah, she was like, "Oh no, that's not cracking."
Nah,
She
get
came
your
and
ass
Dude,
home.
if I called my wife and told her I was going on tour with Jennifer Lopez, she'd tell me to eat a dick.
Yeah, that's basically what she was telling me. She came all the way out there, and she was like, "No, you're not going." And it was a big argument. Brought me home, and that was the night, And it sucks, when you have someone that's partially wanting you to do it, and when you are doing the big things, they don't want you to do it.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like being a dog on a leash. It's like you could go out into the yard.
Yeah,
but
you can go
can't
so
go out
far,
the
but
fence.
not, yeah.
Yeah, you can't go that far because they make up excuses like, oh, so I got offered to go to Japan, Germany, England, and I had a $2.5 million deal that Japan wanted me to go and do a Source Sound Lab in Japan. After I was doing the Source Sound Lab, and I brought my ex-wife into the meeting on that, and she killed it. She didn't want that to happen, and so
Fuck.
I mean, even
Well, it's, you know what? It sounds like it's a good thing that she's not with
around
you
no
man.
more. Yes.
Because I went through a really fucked up marriage. And she held me back at my prime too, man. Like Leisure knows, he was there with me the whole way, and getting away from that situation and in the situation I'm at now, where I have a wife that's supportive 100%.
Yes.
It's a game changer, and I wish that I had this stability
Then.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because then I could have actually pushed my music instead of not.
I totally agree
so-
with you, man.
You're only as good as the one, like they say, a president's only as strong as the woman he's got behind him.
True.
And I believe that, dude, because that's the person you go and you lay next to every night. That's the person you confide in, and if they're blocking on you and they're not letting you realize your full potential,
Yeah.
that's not the one.
Yeah, exactly. And she probably will hear this, because I know she'd be following my stuff, coming from the child support place, where I go to now and taking care of my child support. I'm seeing stuff from them, like they're showing me like that she's showing them pictures and stuff, what I'm doing and scripts and everything of all my stuff that I'm trying to do, and she's thinking that I'm making money right now, and I'm not. I'm just getting this up right now, and I got people like Mike that's putting in money and taking me out, and I got people like Jared and Mark that's putting their business into my belief, and she thinks that I got money, and when it comes down to just because I bought the name IBF Extreme, she thinks I got money. It's not that. I'm trying to create something and trying to create a TV show, and when I do get the TV show, she'll get her little change. You know what I mean? Like that she's asking for. And she's only gonna get that until all my kids are 18, and that's what a lot of these women nowadays like to do. They like to rob these men of our pride and think that they could just make money off of us and not let us see our kids. And
I think we all know females like that.
yeah,
God
and
damn.
they need to grow up.
Shit, man, the biggest gig I ever played, I had to pay to play that motherfucking show.
Yeah.
The biggest moment, playing down in LA at the Whiskey A Go Go, I had to sell tickets to play that spot. You know, it's like, man, you're not making money. Sometimes you have to spend money
Yep.
to get your name out there, and that's what we did.
Exactly.
You know, and it's like you look up there and like to the average person, you're like, man, they're opening up like for a big band in Hollywood. Like these guys are rock stars too. Nah, far from it, man. We're paying our dues just
Yep.
like all these other cats.
And they're thinking that we got all this money, and it's like, no, the money's not there yet. You know,
No.
and when the money comes, you'll get your piece. Just let me have my piece right now. And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about piece of money, but let me have my piece of
Let me have
of
my
mine.
time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me have this time.
Like get off my back, you know. And also, I like to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there right now in 2016.
Yes.
And, you know,
Yeah.
the good mothers out there, and not the bad ones, but the good ones. And my mom, my girlfriend, you know, my grandmother, my auntie, my other aunt. You know, I could keep going on, but you know, it's been great coming on this, and
Hell yeah, we do.
I
We're
love it.
happy
Well,
to
it's-
have you.
it's Radiotron
2000.
Battle Grid Wars 2016.
Yes,
We'll be blowing it up. We'll
June
post it up.
25th. June
June
25th.
25th. Yes,
Right. Okay. June 25th. Yeah, we'll pump it up as much as you want us to,
Yeah,
and you guys are welcome back. You know, whenever,
definitely.
Yeah, you guys are definitely you guys are friends now, man. So
and let us know if you ever need us to do anything. But
Thank you, Lisa.
you want to plug in our
hey, yeah, Twitter at the Beat Lab Podcast. You know, same thing for Instagram, Beat Lab Podcast on Facebook. Like on it, SoundCloud, iTunes.
leave a review.
Yeah, definitely. You know, hey, we ask our fans right now, you know, in order to push our name up that list of like new and noteworthy and to get featured in iTunes would be huge for us. You know, you got to leave reviews, keep listening, drop us a line, let us know what you like, what you don't like. You know, we're here for you guys too. You know, this is, you know, a lot of people listen to podcasts like me. You know, I drive all fucking day, dude, and and it's that entertainment while you're in the truck and you're putting those miles on the road or putting miles on the treadmill, whatever you're doing. You know, we want to make sure that that we're entertaining and that we're bringing on guests that you guys like and stuff. So, you know, definitely drop us a line on that review on iTunes. That would help us out. All right,
Thank you very much.
All right.
hell yeah,
That's it.
that's
Let's
it.
just be
That's a
out.
wrap.
It's Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Let's go see our mamas.
All right.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
That's right.
Later.
Later.
Peace.